let's get PTO nerdy and talk about the difference between the different kinds of secretaries that PTOs, parent-teacher organizations, can have. Some groups will just have one type of secretary as a executive board position, and some will have two. So if you have a bigger group, or if you have more defined responsibilities within the secretary position, then you will have a recording secretary and a corresponding secretary. And a lot of people kind of wonder, like, what is the difference between those two positions? So that is exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video today. And this video is brought to you by the Secretary Success Kit. It has a all-in-one system to get all PTO secretaries organized with the exact tools and resources they need to effectively and confidently do their volunteer job. If you just have one secretary, then they're going to be responsible for all the things, including record keeping, communications, executive board participation, things like that. So let's break down each of those. So for executive board participation, of course, that means attending the executive board meetings, attending the general membership meetings, participating in the planning and organization, decision making that goes into, that's what healthy groups, they're planning and organizing things in advance, like programs, events, and fundraisers. And really, they're planning out their whole calendar in advance. For record keeping, that's really going to be, this is a really crucial role within every parent-teacher organization, because the secretary's job here in record keeping is really just to document the meetings and provide a clean record of all of the decisions, the motions that are made, the action items that were decided on. So like, again, with motions, those are action items because someone is moving to do something or making a motion to approve either spending money or starting a new initiative or electing a new leader. All of this information is required to be kept indefinitely, especially if you are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The IRS has record retention. It is a really good idea to keep all of this information just to be transparent. For communications, this could be thank you notes to volunteers, thank you notes to community sponsors, thank you notes to teachers for their support, or administrators or and different staff members. It could be notes of support for the teachers in the form of if they're having a baby, if they just got married, if they suffered a loss in their family, if they got a new job, if they got a new promotion or had some other reason to celebrate, retirement, all of those different milestone events. That's a good way for the PTO to be supportive of the staff members by just sending a little card. It is a low-cost way to show your support, really demonstrate your support, and can be really appreciated and help the teachers and staff feel seen. It can also really bolster the relationship between the PTO and the staff, and teachers. So it's a really great idea to start doing this if you haven't already. The secretary role, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, the secretary role is a fantastic position for brand new PTO volunteers who don't have any prior experience, because the job role is very specific and it is actually not very involved. Like what I laid out before, you don't really have to know much outside information. You're not relying on prior experience, but the secretary's role is very independent of pretty much everything else. So as long as you just follow kind of what I laid out before, then you're going to be doing your job. Of course, you should also consult your group's bylaws and standing rules to see if there are additional job duties, but these are the general job duties. And it is a great role for, like I said, new leaders, because they can step in, get the lay of the land, and really learn how the group works for stepping up into a larger role. It's a great training ground because you get to see how everything works without being responsible for very much. If you have separate corresponding and recording secretaries, then here are the general job duty splits for that role. So the recording secretary is going to be recording the meeting minutes and, taking them, organizing the minutes, and then getting them out to the group soon after the meeting so that people can see what happened at the meeting in case they weren't there. This can boost involvement and help people stay in the loop, since all of the decisions that the PTO is making should be happening at the PTO meeting, should be happening like on the record. The corresponding secretary, they would be doing all of the writing. So that would be the thank you notes, social media. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. So that would fall under communications. So they could be handling your Facebook group if you don't have a separate social media manager. And even if you do, they could tag team it, because it's always great to have more than one person who is posting on social media so that it doesn't all fall on one person. Again, because these are volunteer roles. These are not our like for real jobs. No one is getting paid as a parent teacher organization volunteer. So really they can be doing anything that involves corresponding or communicating with others. There you have it. That is really what the main job duties of a PTO secretary is, and the specifics for a corresponding and a recording secretary. I hope this has been really informative for you and that you enjoyed the video and that you will join me for the next one.
Even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All of these resources and more are waiting for you at PTOanswers.com.